Hi, welcome to VoICE by Dignitas. Dignitas is an education organization in Kenya which works to support teachers and school leaders in low-cost communities to create vibrant schools where children can thrive and succeed. You may ask what VoICE is. VoICE is a Dignitas initiative that is centered on magnifying the voices of our community and really being accountable to our community with the work that we do. And it stands for valuing our insights, collaboration, and evidence. And so this space is really a space for us to unpack all our learning and reflections from the work that we do in our communities and give agency to the voices of the teachers who are at the forefront of impacting the learning of our children. So today I'm joined by a very wonderful panel of experienced teachers from our communities, and we'll be having very interesting conversations on teacher perspectives on ongoing education reforms. So the goal really is to create a space where we can explore how CBC has been working for our children on the margins and really unpack the areas in which our teachers require more support and how we can collectively bring that together so that our children learn better. And I'll go straight into introductions. I'll start on my left. She'll tell us a bit about herself and why she really, really loves teaching.
My name is Roslyn Ogola. I'm a teacher. I work in a school in Kayole, at a low-cost school in Kayole. I've been a teacher for the last 17 years, and I love teaching. I love children, specifically working with the little children, because they make your life to be more vibrant and also to see them becoming what they want to become in future is my passion that drives me day by day.
Great. Thank you so much. She lives for having children who are vibrant and becoming who they want to be. Thank you so much and welcome. I'll move over to my right and the gentleman will introduce himself.
Okay, I'm Peter Odera, or teacher Peter Odera, a teacher by profession, being in teaching fraternity for the last 16 years. I'm teaching in a school located in Umoja, and teaching is my passion. Interacting with the young ones is my passion, and this is what I like most. And I can say I was born a teacher.
Thank you so much. He was born a teacher, so I'm sure today we're going to get a lot of lessons from the born teacher. We'll move on to the next guest, Karibu, and please introduce yourself.
My name is Teacher Caroline Cherotich. I'm a teacher by profession. I teach in a school in Kayole. I've been teaching for the last 10 years. I like interacting with learners. I like being with them and mingling with them and bringing out the best in them. That is my inbuilt.
Thank you. And I think it's great that we have in the room people who are very passionate about ensuring that our children get the best learning experiences. And I know I'm speaking for many when we say we hold a lot of positive memories or sometimes negative about our teachers. And so just to put this in context, I think in our space, we've talked a lot about, the role of teaching as a profession, yeah? And how that has evolved over time. So I'm really curious to hear your insights just as we begin this conversation around how you feel the teaching profession has evolved, especially after the introduction of the competency-based curriculum. Just before we got in studio, I know you're mentioning the idea of the teacher as a facilitator. What has been your experience around that? I don't know who wants to go first.
I can take it first.
Thank you.
After the introduction of the CBC curriculum,
Yes.
teaching, to me, I can say it has been fun compared to the previous curriculum that we had, that is the 844, because we are getting very good time to interact with the learners, to explore their talents, to identify their abilities. So when I'm given a chance to rate or to compare, teaching has been fun after the introduction of the CBC, so to say.
Wonderful. What are some of these fun aspects?
Some of these fun aspects, like, you see, previously, what we were used to was the lecture method. Mm-hmm. Right now, the CBC is not a teacher thing. It is a learner thing, where there is manipulation of materials. You have been told to use locally available materials, whereby as the learners make their own materials, as the teacher guides them through, that collaboration aspect in it, the discussion part of it makes it the class lively. Then there is also the nature walk. Actually, there is so much about CBC that makes it fun. And previously, even the introduction of the child protection. See, previously some of us during our days left school because of beatings. You remember those days?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
But right now, a child will rarely leave school because the teacher has become a friend of a child. And even the activities throughout the whole day makes learning itself fun for the child, that they long to come to school very early in the morning.
Wonderful. I'm feeling like I want to go back to be a child. So, Teacher Caroline, tell us, what sense are you getting out of CBC?
Yeah, CBC is that much fun, just like they have said, unlike the previous system. So we get to involve the learner. It is learner-centered. So the learner gets involved into it and he feels that he's part of it. And therefore it makes learning enjoyable. And therefore you find at the end of the day, all of the learners are included, irrespective of their background.
Wonderful. And so just based off of that, and we appreciate that, this is something that we brought in very new into our country. It has required us, I think, as a country to really have a massive mindset shift. And so when you think about, if you reflect upon the last 10 years or so of CBC, what are something that we call maybe a pain point? There's been a lot of course, moving parts in terms of reforms. And if you think about an area like, say, teacher reforms, the Presidential Working Party on Education Reforms made some recommendations around improving the quality of teaching, yeah? And so we've had a lot of our teachers go through retooling, and we're really rethinking how we provide ongoing professional development. What has been your experience in that space? What's your perspective there?
Allow me to take it first also too.
Yes.
Or if we talk about that, or as teachers, we are the people on the ground, and we are the people that are implementing the CBC after the rollout. But I'm forced to say this. Initially, and the challenges maybe concerning after the rollout were the qualified implementers. And I want to bring this point on board because when this thing started, the teachers that were there were not fully prepared for it in terms of knowledge-wise. Because we find that previously, for my instance, I did the 844. And when I was doing 844, we were doing like different or many subjects. Then later came the slashing of the subject. And some subjects were left out, like the agriculture, the science, the music, or the GHCR, whatever. Then with now the introduction of CBC, these teachers that did not do the agriculture, the home science, and whatever in primary and even in high school, they are coming now on board as teachers. And then the CBC is now introducing this subject to them, finding them totally green because they did not handle them in primary level and even in the secondary level. So you are expecting somebody who did not do agriculture in primary and secondary to teach or to facilitate on agriculture in class because he's now a teacher. So this brought some little hiccups and challenges when this thing was starting because proper training was not done to them. And that is where the problem started, or whereby the teachers themselves were not well informed of what is going on before they started it.
All right. And so just in terms of, we are the ones at the forefront, yeah? So Teacher Rosemary, what are some of the ways that you've been able to say, in my school, this is how we are going to fix this problem or this challenge, as it were? So what have you done to ensure that the teachers in your school or your colleagues have been able to access training in terms of CBC implementation?
Okay. Actually, in times of retooling, the idea was good, but as my colleague says, there are some loopholes.
Yeah.
The government will always argue that no teacher is trained to teach a particular curriculum, which is true, yes. But now with the incoming of the CBC and the new learning areas, remember the language first of all changed from subjects to learning areas. That was not a very big deal. Now, with the introduction of the new subjects or the new learning areas that came in, as my colleague says, it was left to the teacher. Now, the problem came in, where were the teachers who did 844 were not properly equipped. Why? For example, the upgrade teachers. The trainings were there. They were conducted, yes, but how many teachers were able to attend?
Yeah.
The challenge also came in where a school sends 2 or 3 teachers with an intention of coming to retool the rest of the teachers. Before the teacher retools them, the teacher leaves.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now, who is there to pick it up? Nobody is there to pick it up. And to be honest with you, for some time, teachers imaginarily taught 844, imagining to be CBC. Why? Because of lack of knowledge. There were gaps that even up to today, although the government right now is training the CBC teachers, but how about the teachers that never attended those trainings? They just picked it from the curriculum designs, because they will tell you the curriculum design will instruct a teacher on what to
do.
Yeah.
So it was left for the curriculum design to do it. More so, it was also left for the teacher to involve the parent.
Yeah.
And we are talking of the parent who is already 844 oriented.
Okay.
Who is thinking of exactly exams and how my child is going to join Mangu High. And no matter what you try to bring in as a teacher, you will get resistance because the parent will come with instructions. What does the government say about instructing early learners? The language of the area, the learners should be instructed in the language of the catchment area.
Yes.
And for a cosmopolitan area like Nairobi, then the language should be Kiswahili. How do you convince a parent that it is no longer the English speaking? Especially, we call them the glorified poor, where they think that English should be spoken by a child in PP1.
Interesting.
So when the parent brings the child to school, remember we are in BC, perhaps have been instructed on what to do. What is the focus in preschool? And the parent comes in and tells me, I've been speaking English to my child, so let my child speak English. And the authority is left with the teacher, who is also afraid to instruct the authoritative parent. Now, when it comes to empowering the parent, which the government has left to the teacher, it really becomes difficult because our parents were used to be being busy and living as the children. You will pick the child in the evening after bringing the child in the morning.